Welcome back to another episode of Two Average Husbands. I'm your host, Jake.
I'm your host, Kyle. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Jake, talk to us about what you're drinking this week.
This week I am drinking Shipyard Brewing's Smashed Pumpkin. Had to
I
catch up
just
to
had
you.
it. It was delicious.
Had to catch up to you with the pumpkin beers, so here we are. It is an ale with natural flavors. Very descriptive.
It was good. It wasn't as good as the ones that I had last week, but I think that I had that one 2 weeks ago, if I remember right.
Did you? Which one? Shipyard. Yeah. Oh yeah, you gave it a 5.5.
Okay, maybe I didn't love that one as much. I've definitely had some of the good pumpkin ones, though. But anyway, my first beer is Clown Shoes Pineapple Space Cake. And this can is incredible.
It is.
So give this a shot. I
It's
love
like
pineapple. I love cake. Hopefully it's delicious.
It's like a shitty Marvel knockoff drawing on that can, but I kind of fuck with it.
All right. Anyway, for the first topic this week, since we're gonna roll right into it. Oh, you can hear that pour in there. Delicious. As always, we're gonna start off. I guess I shouldn't say as always since we skipped it last week, but for the most part, we're gonna try to do an NFL short little segment at the beginning of every episode. So for this episode, it is important to know for all of the fantasy folks out there. The bye-apocalypse is upon us. And not only is the bye-apocalypse upon us, but we also are starting to see the first few mega injuries kind of coming about that are forcing people to kind of deviate. Obviously, we saw the CMC one a little bit earlier, but we're seeing a lot of other players start to have some of the same injuries. And if you're looking at the number of hamstring injuries that are happening, to include Richard Sherman that just went out of the game tonight, multiple other ones, and then like the Giants, for example, where every single fucking player on that offense is going to be out of the game soon. So, Jake, what for you is the best possible waiver pickup going into the bye weeks? And then give me one for a receiver and a running back.
So for me, the easy option, at least for this week, I don't know if it's going to cover all of the bye weeks, but it's going to be Khalil Herbert, especially with Damian Williams going on the COVID list today, based off of the league's requirements for vaccinated players to get cleared. He's probably not going to be eligible. So we're going to see Khalil Herbert and Ryan Nall. We love a game of 6th-round picks and undrafted free agents as your starting running backs as Bears fans. But Herbert looked really good last week. He looked a little more explosive, I think, than Williams, and a little bit more capable. Wasn't used in the passing game, so we may see a split where Herbert's the main rusher and Nall gets some of the third down work, especially because he's a little bit of a better blocker than Herbert, I think, as well. But we've seen Herbert be a solid pass catcher in college, so it's something that is definitely an option there. And then if I'm looking at wide receiver, for me, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's rostered in 7.6% of ESPN leagues. Tyrell Williams out with an injury. Quintez Cephas out with an injury. If you look at the last couple weeks, each of the last 2 weeks, he had 8 targets. Week 4 against Chicago, 6 receptions for 70 yards. Against Minnesota, 7 receptions for 65 yards. Don't get me wrong, DeAndre Swift and TJ Hawkinson, even though Hawk has been a little disappointing as of late, are still going to be the 2 main pass catchers in that offense. But Amon-Ra's worked out a very nice role very quickly. He was one of my top 10 rookie wide receivers of the draft coming out. I don't see there being like a more consistently available player than him. I think, and he's rostered in 7.6% of ESPN leagues. Like, he's available in your league 92% of the time.
Sure.
So he's a very solid waiver pickup in my opinion.
All right, sweet. For me, I'm going to go with, first of all, Darrell Williams as opposed to Damian Williams, because I think now with the Clyde Edwards-Helaire injury, and we don't really have a specific timeline on that yet. The unfortunate thing is this news isn't news anymore, so we already kind of knew this was coming, so this isn't going to give you the opportunity to rush to the waiver wire and pick him up. He was already probably picked up on Wednesday this week, so I wouldn't expect that many people are going to be able to go out there and get Darrell Williams. But that being said, if he is available in your league and you haven't picked him up, you absolutely need to get out there. He should be rostered in every league right now. And then my wide receiver pickup is Rashad Bateman. So he's still only rostered in 13% of leagues. He's coming back off of the IR. Hopefully this week. The expectation was he might be coming back last week to play. He didn't. But now that we already kind of saw that they were pressing to get him back on the field, I'm expecting that we'll probably see him this week. I won't say, hey, you're going to get this amazing player right out of the gate. But that being said, as a rookie coming into the league and also coming off of injury, so give him some time. But if you have the need at wide receiver, or you're looking somebody just to kind of fluff the bench up going into the bye weeks, I think he is a great option, which is the Baltimore receiver, Rashad Bateman.
I would love to change mine to Bateman, but I roster him in so many places that like my brain doesn't remember that people don't do that. Yeah. I was taking him in every redraft league that I could, so I could draft this extra skill player and didn't have to pick up a defense, and then I would just throw Bateman into the IR slot as soon as the roster's registered in the league, and then picked up my defense then.
I picked him up in a league where I have Michael Thomas, who is in my IR slot right now. It's a single IR slot league. As soon as Michael Thomas comes out, and if Rashad Bateman happens to stay in the IR, I'll just pop him down in there, and I can pick somebody else up too. So you have some flexibility there. Again, I do think that Rashad Bateman will be back this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, Harbaugh said today that there's a very good chance that he's active, and I think anybody has to be excited about that. Lamar has looked damn good as a passer this year.
He has.
And
Leonard Fournette touchdown.
And if we see what's been done by Hollywood Brown, who I think is a lesser receiver overall than Bateman, sky's the limit for Bateman. Even if they work him into games a little bit slowly, you're picking him up now. 3 weeks from now, he's going to be putting up 15, 20 points a week, and it's not going to be a surprise.
Yeah, sure.
I don't love the Darrell Williams pickup.
I love it.
I get it because people will need to do it, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire wasn't really producing much as a running back in that offense. He was fine. He wasn't killing you. But I also
don't love Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
True.
But I think he's fine. But I think Darrell Williams is also fine. Like, I think they're probably pretty comparable. So I think you're going to get Darrell Williams going out there for Kansas City, and he's not going to be the number one pass catching back on any fucking week because it's Kansas City and they're going to throw the ball a lot, not necessarily to the running back. But that being said, I think Darrell Williams will be a fine pickup, especially with buys and injuries.
With buys and injuries is where it's okay, and at least he's going to get some volume, which I don't hate. The problem is I hate running backs in the NFL that I'm faster than, and I'm fairly confident I'm faster than Darrell Williams. So
I would have my doubt about that. We'll have to hit up Darrell Williams. Hit him up on Twitter. Tell him you're faster than him. We'll see what happens.
He's got a 4.72 40.
I still believe you're not faster than
I could confidently run a 4.65 right now. I'm just saying.
We'll have to get him out or get him on the pod. See how he feels about the race challenge there.
I'll go laser time myself. It's fine. All right. To kind of just jump right into my topic, as you can see if you were watching on YouTube, I titled this Spooky Season because we are getting into Halloween's right around the corner. We've been drinking fall-themed beers. We've got, I've got a couple ideas of topics that have to do around Halloween for the next few weeks, especially with the Halloween episode coming up in 2 weeks. So I'm going to tie my first topic into Halloween. Kyle, I've already sent you the link. We are going to do
open it. Sorry.
We are going to do a tier list that I don't believe we've done before. If we have done it before, this is going to be the official one, not the last one that we did. But I want to do a candy tier list in the theme of Halloween to see, how we feel about Halloween and candy and what our favorite Halloween candies are. So let me...
All right, I got it pulled up.
Perfect. Give me 1 second because I don't know how to work a computer.
In the meantime, because this is pop culture and I probably won't bring it up again. Actually, you know what? I lied. Because it'll apply to a different part of the Halloween week. So I'm going to save that. I was going to make another comment, side topic. Not going to do it. Saving it.
I appreciate you saving it. Let me zoom this in a little bit. All right. So we are going to just start off right off the rip. Just send it right in order. S, A, B, C, D. I'm going to add an F tier real quick.
And also add a never tried tier, please.
I don't think there's anything on here that at least one of us
That's the standard for our layout, so you might as well throw it in there.
True.
I have to just hate, by the way, the fact that Leonard Fournette just scored because I am playing against him in one league, and then in my next league I have him, and then I'm playing against him in another league, and then the next league I have him. He's already up to 18 points in PPR.
I can tell you for a fact that I still don't think Leonard Fournette is a good football player.
I don't think so either, but he's getting points, so I'll take that Hurts rush for 5 yards. Yes, please. Thank you.
This is a lot harder to do when you're under pressure than I anticipated.
You are literally under no pressure.
I am
There
under
is zero
all
pressure.
of the pressure. God damn.
Nobody's watching right now expecting Jake to do this quickly.
I am.
In fact, is anybody watching at this very moment?
Yes, there is.
Not on
The
YouTube.
the counter on StreamYard is not correct for your information. So if we see something, it is not correct.
To every just
Arrow below. There we go.
Somebody's watching. I lied. Welcome. Hopefully it's Uncle Kyle, the homie. What up?
Usually is. Could be Ryan this week as well. I'm going to go message him real quick while I have a second.
Oh, deep ball, and he's way overthrown again.
All right, here we go. We have
Jalen
all
Hurts
of the
suck right now.
tiers that we should need. Okay, we're going to start right off the bat with Warheads. Kyle, where do you rank Warheads?
This is going to be a perfect segue into something else, but I'm going to keep my mouth closed because this topic is going to segue perfectly into my next one. But Warheads, loved them as a kid. Loved them. Haven't really had them since then, but I will say that for me, it's probably a B tier. Loved me a Warhead.
You have zero arguments for me there. Love Warheads. Love sour in general. So there may be a little bias when it comes to sour candy for me. All right, next up, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. Love them. A tier.
Gonna agree again. No argument there. We've talked about that candy specifically before when we were out there. Next up is Bubble Tape.
Garbage.
Yes.
D or F.
I'm putting it in F. It's the worst gum. It had like the cool factor of being in the roll, and it was fun to take other people's rolls and just bite out like a chunk of it.
Yeah. That's the
but
only thing that made it popular with kids is they got this fucking cool little container that you could pop open and you'd roll out a piece of gum and then you'd have flavor for less than 5 seconds. Then you'd move on with your life.
yeah, it was awful.
It wasn't good flavor either. It was just flavor.
This might be the contentious one. 100 gram bars.
I fucking love 100-gram bars.
This
I
is
don't know if that's the contentious thing for you.
It's not okay. This is an S tier for me. This is my favorite candy bar.
It's not my favorite, but I do love 100 gram. So I'll let you throw it in the S.
Yes. Fuck yeah. All
No
right.
contention. Too easy.
Bazooka bubble gum.
It is Uncle Kyle, by the way. Welcome, Uncle Kyle.
Hey,
Glad
Uncle
you're
Kyle. We appreciate you.
Bazooka bubblegum. I don't know that I've ever had it other than, I guess you can kind of see it in the bottom of the picture there. But it's like, I had it in like those little roll ones. What's the other one that you'd get in like the tiny little wrappers? Was it Double Bubble?
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba's way better. Bazooka not nearly as good. So yeah, I'm fine with throwing it in.
Bazooka's the worst thing ever created that was supposed to be good.
Honestly, when you start side by siding candies too, and gum is in the category, gum should never be the best in the list.
I would agree. And maybe we need to rank that in terms of gum, but I don't know how much gum there is on here. But regardless, like the two that are on here are just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're just bad.
I need to ask this question really quick. Sorry, because I know we're doing candy right now. Why does Mike Evans look like he just doesn't care anymore?
That's if you've watched Mike Evans' career, that's just been him.
He was just wide open for a throw from Tom Brady, and he just like watched it. He's just like, okay, didn't even try. I hate it.
That's Mike Evans in his career for you.
All right, Gobstoppers coming up next. What do you got?
C tier. Like they're fine, but I'd never pick them.
I'd probably put them in the D tier. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, you can.
Gobstoppers don't actually have a lot of flavor, and they're
Yeah.
rock solid. You kind of just suck on them. You get a little bit of that artificial sugary flavor, and they're not good.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. You know what? You convinced me to drop them down a tier, and I'm not going to complain at all. Next up, Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids are like, this might be my most contentious because I don't like Sour Patch Kids, and I think
Really?
Sour Patch Kids are like one of the most popular candies, especially amongst sour candies, which I do like, and I don't like them. I think they're overrated. If they're there and just like around, will I eat them? Sure, why not? But I'm not going to a store and going, oh, I really want Sour Patch Kids. So I'd give them like C tier.
They're an S tier for me. So this is where the contention starts. And the
I
way
figured this one would be contentious.
I don't think I can do C.
I'd let you put them in B because I think comparable to Warheads, like I would have either. I'll buy that.
I would pick Sour Patch Kids over Warhead just because I like chewing on something more than I like sucking on candy.
Suppose I probably would too. Tom Brady's got
So
intercepted again.
good. The first one was an interception too.
And almost got into a fight.
We love Tom Brady fighting. Hot tamales.
I love hot tamales. I think they actually have a really good flavor, and amongst like candies that I've had that have tried to like add spice in there, it's one of the few that I think has done it pretty well. And you don't have like, it's not like this grotesque, overly done cinnamon flavor. I think it's actually like decent. So I would put them in, I don't know, below Warheads, I guess.
I would put them top of C, but we'll throw them in B not for now to see if they get thrown down at all.
Okay.
Next up is Tootsie Pops.
I wish this was more specific.
Yes.
Because orange Tootsie Pops are the best thing on the fucking planet.
Orange, the red, and like the chocolate on chocolate slap. The other ones are ass.
I feel like you just listed all of them except for blue.
There's
bad.
blue. There's other ones. Hold on.
I think it's just those four, isn't it? Chocolate, blue, red, orange.
Hold on. I'm pulling up the flavor. There's 6 flavors.
What are the other ones?
There's a green.
Is that like a special edition thing?
No. Just looks like
Interesting.
regular Tootsie Pops. There's a green and there's like a pink.
I don't think I've had either of those. But
Yeah,
either
well,
way, orange or the
they're
goat.
ass.
I love Tootsie Pops, though. I'd give this a top of our current B tier.
I would agree. Next up is Sweet Tarts.
So this one's dependent for me because you either have soft Sweet Tarts or hard Sweet Tarts. And I think soft Sweet Tarts are the best thing that Sweet Tarts ever did for their Sweet Tart game. I think the chewable Sweet Tarts are so fucking good. I don't like hard ones. So if we're going off of hard, which I think that's what that is, C tier at best.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. They're a good C tier for me because they're good, but it's this. The way I'm looking at C tier with candy is these are candies that are fine, but I'm never going to pick them if I have other options. And that's like Sweet Tarts are the most C tier candy to me in that sense.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'll buy that.
Next up is orange slices.
I fucking love orange slices.
Thank God. I thought we were gonna have to throw
love
hands.
orange slices.
We go to Blaine's Farm and Fleet to buy our dog food.
Dude, yeah,
and they sell them there.
And they had the big ass bags of them. Too.
Yeah, they're like 3 pounds of them, and I could fucking eat the
I'm
whole
with you.
things in one sitting. I
love orange slices. Are you gonna give them an A or an S tier?
What would you give them?
Probably A. I think there's gonna be better candies, but I love orange slices.
I'm gonna put them at the top of A, but I might be convinced to move those up later. The more I look at them,
maybe me too. And I don't think they're on here, so I can talk shit about them from what I see on here. But did you ever have the fucking orange like peanuts or like the marshmallow peanut fucking things?
Yeah, the circus.
God,
peanuts,
those are gross.
Ass.
Bad.
So bad.
F tier.
Next up is Fun Dip.
Fun Dip is fucking trash.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was cool, but now I hate
Fun
it.
Dip did a great job of marketing. Fun Dip sucks.
Yeah.
You're just literally putting spoonfuls of sugar in your fucking mouth on a sugar stick.
Yep.
Fuck no. F.
Top of F tier. Next up is Jawbreakers.
The ones that they're looking at. Did you ever go to Adventureland? Have you ever been to Adventureland in Iowa?
No, I have not.
Uncle Kyle, maybe you've been there. Chime in the chat if you have. So the only place that I've ever had one of these giant Jawbreakers that they're showing in the picture here was at Adventureland. You could get it. You'd go and ride this little fucking train around at Adventureland and then have this little shop at the end of it, and you could get one of these. I tell you all of this to tell you that we had a competition on the way back from Adventureland one time of who could try to eat this the fastest. And I sat there fucking just licking the shit out of this thing until literally my tongue was bleeding. Like you could see blood on the surface of my tongue. And so I fucking hate these things and I would never do it again. Plus the flavor was bad. I just did it for the fuck of it. So for me, it's an F tier.
Yeah. This is. I'd rather have those than Fun Dip, but they're still just not good. I don't love just like balls of sugar.
No, that's literally what it is. It's not like it's sugary flavored. It's just sugar that has very small hints of flavor every once in a while.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. It never will be good. If you like Jawbreakers, you're a psychopath. Anyways,
pretty much.
Next up is the Andes mint chocolates.
Delicious.
Yes.
A tier.
Yep. Same page.
Andes Mints and Andes Mints, everything that they've ever been created into. Andes Mints milkshakes.
Yep.
From Arby's. Andes Mints ice cream has been a thing in the past. We just bought same but different. But we got Girl Scout Thin Mint almonds from Costco.
Ooh.
So if you
Oh
get
yeah,
the
I've seen
opportunity,
those. I've
get
seen
those
those.
because we actually got them and they're good.
We used to do these like alcoholic milkshakes that my dad would make. They're
Love,
alcoholic, but they're really
love
not.
boozy shakes.
But it would be like Andy's mints. We'd put cream de menthe in there so that it had that like extra minty flavor, and then we'd use like chocolate and vanilla ice cream, or if we had it, mint chocolate chip ice cream. Just be the mintiest thing in the world, but it was so good.
I love that shit.
Yes, sir. Next up is Lifesavers.
Lifesavers hard candy. Again, this is one where I think all of these candies changed the game when they started making the soft version. Because I think the Lifesaver gummies, delicious. Lifesaver hard candy is trash.
I'm actually the opposite. I don't like the chewy
I love 'em.
Lifesavers. I don't like the consistency of them.
Love them.
Where are we going here?
C tier, I guess.
Yeah, this
By
again,
your logic.
it's a thing that again, I'm never grabbing Lifesavers as like the candy that I want. If I have them, I'll eat them. But like we always used to get them in our stockings for Christmas. We'd get a tube of Lifesavers.
Yeah, we used to do that. We'd get those too, and then sometimes we'd get the. And I know this is really common in Carly's family. They really have like the candy piggy bank things that you'd get,
Yeah,
if you know what I'm talking about. And
I do.
Lifesavers had one of those as well. Who is that?
What?
I gotta see who it is before I talk shit. Who's 25?
Is that Jalen Rieger?
No. 25 on Tampa.
Defensive back?
Offense.
I have no clue. I'm blanking.
He just caught the ball and like just fell. You'll see the play in a second. It'll be funny for you. Doesn't matter. Ring pops.
Yes.
Ring pops next on the list. Very tasty to me.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
This is one of the things that carried from my childhood that I think was actually good. I think there's a lot of flavor in that ball of sugar, not just a ball of sugar. But that being said, still, I'm not going to go pick up a fucking ring pop, dude. So I'd put it in the C category.
Yep, same. Top of C, though. We'll give him
Yeah,
top of C.
over what we have there. Yeah, for sure.
Next up, Three Musketeers.
Shit. I don't like Three Musketeers.
I won't say shit, but I
D-tier.
don't entirely disagree with you.
I don't of the chocolate candies that are available. I would never go buy a Three Musketeers.
I would every once in a while.
actually-
They're bottom of C, but they're
Dude, when I get the Three Musketeer fucking mini candies on like Halloween when I was like younger, when I'd get those, I would just leave that shit to the side for my brother. I don't fucking like Three Musketeers.
I love them. Whatever. Fine. Twizzlers.
The original Twizzlers is what's pictured, so I'm gonna judge off of that.
Yeah.
Garbage. They
Yep.
taste just like wax.
Yep.
D tier, I still say though. I think they're better than everything we have in F right now.
Okay. How would that change if it was the cherry pull-in peels?
Fucking love them.
Yep.
God, I love pulling peels.
All right. You and I have very similar candy tastes.
Fucking love pulling peels.
That's what I'm learning here. Next up, Jolly Ranchers.
C.
Yeah. This is like the C category. How we have it is pretty much like the quintessential category.
Everything that we're putting in the C category, with the exception of the ring pops, is something that you'd see in like an office candy jar.
Literally.
And you walk by it and you go, yeah, all right.
You're
But
like,
you don't
if-
ever go buy it for yourself.
Exactly. Next up is Swedish Fish.
Gross.
I hate you.
Swedish
God damn
Fish
it.
are like Twizzlers to me, where they taste just like wax and they don't have a lot of flavor.
I disagree entirely. The cherry flavor in them is phenomenal.
I don't really like cherry,
Yeah, that's gonna. If you don't like cherry, that's gonna make them off-putting to you.
which is funny because I do love cherry pulling peels. But
Yeah, I was gonna say. Whatever. Uncle Kyle called out in the chat, by the way, that chocolate and mint is trash, and
that
you're
is a
wrong.
hot take.
It is. It's
I would say
sadly
most
it's the
people
thing-
would disagree with
No,
that.
I don't think it's a hot take. I think most people would disagree with us for loving
Put a
it.
poll on Twitter.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm going to have to. Here's what we should have for when we do these tier lists. We should each get one executive override where we can place an item
We
wherever
kind
we
of do
want.
that.
We kind of do. But I think
Just
moving
less formal.
forward, we do it more formally.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm
One
going-
executive override.
I'm going to have to put Swedish Fish at the bottom of B tier. I physically cannot put them lower because I love them.
Okay.
Thank you. Tootsie Rolls.
Oh God, they're the worst.
This is like the weird thing. Maybe it's because I grew up eating them, but I love them.
Tootsie Rolls suck, dude.
I'm totally fine putting them.
You had
like,
your executive override already. Fuck you.
I'm
Tootsie
totally
Rolls
fine
are
putting
terrible.
them low
D.
because I recognize that most people would probably say that they're trash, but there's just something about them that's so bad that I don't dislike it.
I got so distracted by how much I hate Tootsie Rolls that I forgot what I was trying to pull.
What were you trying to pull? Why am I blanking on this? Oh, mint and chocolate.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sweet.
Mint and chocolate. All right. Next up is Mounds.
I
better version.
love Mounds.
The better version of
Almond Joy. I actually love Almond Joy, though, too.
I do, too.
Because I love almonds. And it's also on the list. But I'm a big coconut bitch, so I fucking would eat both of those candies. I wouldn't say that they're my favorite of all time, but I think both are probably A tier to me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. I love dark chocolate, too, so that's why I prefer the Mounds. But next up is like those candy necklaces.
Trash.
Yeah, F tier. I'm going to put them below Fun Dip even.
Yeah,
like
they're trash.
Razzles.
I feel like I've maybe had a Razzle once in my life, and I don't remember what it tasted like. I have no opinion.
If I'm remembering them correctly, they're the ones that like turn into gum.
No, I don't think so. I thought Razzles were the ones that were like, they like fizzled.
No, those are Pop Rocks.
No, I know what Pop Rocks are, but I think Razzles also were like a fizzly candy.
No, Razzles. Morphing from a tasty fruit-flavored candy into an equally tasty and chewable piece of gum.
Oh, you were right? Gross.
Yeah, they're
I've never
ass.
had those.
Yeah, they're ass.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, F tier. Crunch Bar.
I would maybe make this a D tier.
Wow.
Of the chocolate candies that I could get, Crunch is not one of them.
The reason I think Crunch should be higher is it's on its own, it's not great, but Crunch is one of the best like additives to ice cream. Like when I go get ice cream and can add Crunch Bar to it, I do it every time.
No, that's not me, dude. You already used your executive override, so C tier at best.
Yeah. Would you prefer that to Three Musketeer?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Lifesaver?
It's probably closer to the top of the C tier right now.
I'll put them behind Ring Pops. Because you thoroughly enjoy yourself some Ring Pops.
It's not that I thoroughly enjoy myself with the Ring Pop. I just thought they were good when I was a kid, and I have fond memories of Ring Pops.
That is fair. Next up, candy cigarettes.
Candy cigarettes. So cool factor, S.
Yes.
Taste factor, F.
Yeah. Easy F. These are like... I might prefer bubble tape.
Yeah, they
Because
just
bubble
don't really
tape
taste
had
like anything.
bubble tape at least had flavors.
It had some flavor. It was pretty bad flavor, but it had some flavor.
I'm just saying like there were different flavors of bubble tape. Like there wasn't just
shit.
original.
Ryan joined us. He subscribed, and he's a fanboy.
Ooh, we
Welcome,
love that.
Ryan. Hop in the chat, and feel free to join us on another episode sometime.
Yes, we'll definitely have to have you guest host with us sometime. Next up, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat's delicious.
Yes.
S tier.
Okay. You're gonna get no argument from me.
I say this because I look at our A tier, and I think that I would have Kit Kats over those any day.
I would 100%. Again, another one that has a variety of flavors, and they're all very good.
I think that's how I have to start thinking about your C category, by the way, is that C category to me is like the office candy jar.
Yeah.
What are you going to see in some, which is, I say that because Smarties is next on the list, and it is at best C tier.
I would prefer almost everything besides Twizzlers and D tier over it, but that's about it. Like
Okay.
I would eat Tootsie Rolls and Gobstoppers before I would eat Smarties.
Yeah, Smarties are trash. Dude, they taste like chalk.
Yeah, they're I might even pick Twizzlers over them if I'm really, really thinking about it.
I would probably take Twizzlers over them.
All right, they're going. You have to beat Smarties to get into D tier. That's basically what we've declared here. All right, next up on the list is York Peppermint Patties.
Uncle Kyle will appreciate my opinion on this one. I think they're trash.
Yeah, these are not good.
I love Andy's mints, and I think mint and chocolate most definitely go together. York Peppermint Patties are gross.
Yeah, peppermint and chocolate do not go together.
Yeah.
Menthol mint and chocolate, fine. I
And
love
dude,
that.
like a York peppermint patty tastes like, in the age of essential oils, it tastes like you put a bunch of fucking peppermint essential oil into a piece of chocolate with some like cream in the middle, and that's what you're eating. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's bad. Next up is dots.
If I have to, I will stab you over this one. I love dots.
Okay, we're again same page more often than not. Dots are amazing. The
I
green
love
ones,
dots.
I could live without the green ones, but every other one is
Yeah, I would
A
agree with
tier.
that. Yeah,
At
I
least
fucking
A
love
tier.
dots.
I don't think I can go S tier with them.
I would eat dots before I'd eat orange slices, so I'd have
Same.
to put it at the top of A.
Yeah, it's very top of A. We have very old guy candy taste.
I have old man taste in general. No
That is
surprise.
true. That is true. Peeps.
Peeps, to me, okay, so there's one way to eat a peep. You open the package,
Yes.
you let them sit out for like 3 or 4 days, you get them a little bit hard, and then you eat them. That's the only way to eat a peep.
I don't think I've ever done that, but
Do it this Easter season.
I'll think about it. That would require me to get Peeps, which
Yeah,
is
they're like 80 cents, dude. Get a peep.
I could use that 80 cents for half of a McDouble.
That's a fair argument, I suppose.
So
So, in
I
general,
still do
though, peeps are bad.
yeah, I do Peeps over Smarties though.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay. Cookie dough bites.
Okay. I think Carly, if she's out there listening, I don't know if she is or not, should chime in from the peanut gallery because she thinks cookie dough bites are the greatest thing on planet Earth.
Pretty solid.
She loves them. I think they're okay.
They're not my favorite, but they are good.
Yeah, they're fine.
I would go bottom of B tier.
I would have them before everything except for Warheads. Or sorry, everything from Warheads down. Like I would put them above Warheads in the B tier.
I would choose Swedish Fish over them, but I'm not gonna argue too much here.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a necessary argument.
Good.
Next up is Starburst.
Starbursts are fine. How do you feel about Starburst?
When I have Starburst, I love them, but I never think about them.
The thing for me is I think that they belong in the bottom of B tier because of that. Like, would I buy them? Probably not, but I think they're elevated above the Office candy dish.
Yeah. They are very often in the Office candy dish though. But
That's true, especially around Halloween.
they're the goat of the Office candy dish, which is why I think they can go bottom B.
They're good. Yeah.
Next up, Reese's Cups.
Reese's Cups are probably S tier.
Yeah. There's not a question there. The versatility, it could be the shape of a pumpkin, a rabbit, a Christmas tree.
It's true.
You don't
Eggs.
know.
Christmas
The
or
eggs.
Easter eggs.
Yeah, the eggs do slap.
They're so good.
Next up, I wouldn't call this a candy, but it's in the list. Gushers.
Yeah, it's more of a fruit snack, but if you're going to include fruit snacks, then you kind of have to talk about it. Uncle Kyle's right. Pink Starbursts are the goat.
Same page, all three of us.
Starburst. That's the one.
Pink,
Fruit Gushers, though,
then yellow, then orange.
I don't know that I care about any of them but pink, to be completely honest. Fruit Gushers, delicious, though.
Yes. I would put them just below Sour Patch Kids.
I would probably put them just above Sour Patch Kids. That's just me.
It's not really an executive decision because we are super close. I'm going to put them there for now. When we do our final walkthrough, maybe you can convince me otherwise.
Okay.
It's a child lunch supreme snack. Yes, it is. Gushers, when you had Gushers in your bag, you had all the trading power in the world.
It's true.
You
I
were...
would have traded you a whole pack of candy cigarettes for a pack of Gushers, man.
Yeah, facts. I would have given you 90 packs of candy cigarettes.
Out on the prison yard.
Oh, Jesus. Next up, Lemon Heads.
I actually like lemon heads.
I do too. They're
don't-
in a weird spot for me where they start off really good, then they get really bad, and then they end good.
That's true. The surface of a lemon head, or like that first layer with the sugar, is delicious, and then it just kind of gets blah 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 blah.
It gets it's got like that in between like crumbliness, that layer.
Yeah.
That's bad. Once you get to the actual like candy portion in the middle, I like it.
Ooh,
But
I'm almost the opposite. I kind of like the outside layer first, then the inside. I'm kind of just over it.
makes
Either
sense.
way, lemon heads, fine. I would eat them before sweet tarts.
Yeah. Not going to argue too much there. My dad would. My dad would put those in his S tier. He always has 3 to 4 boxes of lemon heads on deck when I show up at the house. Don't get me
for
wrong.
him.
I eat them every single time.
Yeah, I would too. If they're there, I would absolutely eat them.
Yeah. Next up, Airheads.
This is another one that I would literally stab you over. I love Airheads.
Okay. Again, Kyle,
I think Airheads are
you're not going to have to stab me much on this one.
S tier.
Ooh.
I love Airheads, and I would easily eat them above everything that we have in A tier right now.
Do you want to use your executive over?
Just to go up one category, no, but I Airheads are amazing.
I would pick everything but Andy's Mints and Mound in A tier over Airheads. I'd put them in the middle of A, and that's partially because you ever take the wrapper and then you just like thwap it back and forth so it gets really tight. You never done that?
No.
Yeah, so next time you have
I
an
know what you're
Airhead,
talking about. I've seen people do this. I know what you're talking about. That's
it makes it
funny.
better. It makes it better.
It doesn't, but they are delicious. Airheads, that's fine. Throw in A tier.
Middle of A. We love to see it. Next up are the little Dum Dum.
I fucking hate Dum Dums. You know what I hate the most about Dum Dums? That Dum Dums were the thing that people would walk around with at like the wedding party shit. They're
Yep.
like begging for money for their weddings. And they're like, buy my fucking Dum Dums. I was like, fuck you. The Dum Dums were worth 10 cents and you want me to give you cash? Fuck you. I hate you. Go away.
Agreed.
I
They're
don't like
not.
Dum-Dums.
They're not good. I'm gonna put them at the bottom of D tier though.
Plus 300 odds aren't that great. I don't know. It might be like plus 500 odds, by the way, Ryan. I don't know. If Jake and I were in close proximity and we drank as much as we do on a regular basis, he might just get stabbed.
If we did this podcast in person, I'd have been stabbed like 3 times at this point. I'm pretty sure. But I'll
There will be
take
a lot of stab references.
at plus 300. I'm throwing 2 units down easy that I get stabbed. Even if it's on accident, Kyle trips with a fork in his hand or something.
I'll stab you with a fork. I'll do it.
On the next live in person episode, watch as Kyle stabs Jake with a fork. Anyways, moving on. Hershey's Kisses.
Ass. Don't argue with me. Hershey's Kisses suck.
But there's multiple flavors.
Ass. The peppermint ones are fine. Everything else is ass.
I'd put them at the top of F tier then.
Sure. Bad. Pass interference.
Personally, I'd probably put them like just below Twizzlers ahead of Peeps, but that's just me.
No.
Sour
hate
Patch,
Hershey's Kisses.
watermelon.
I think they're good.
Do you like them
They're
more
probably
than
right next to regular Sour Patch to me.
They're just above regular Sour Patch to me.
Yeah,
I
I'll take
prefer the watermelon version.
Yeah, they're good.
Which is weird because I'm not a huge watermelon person, but I like whatever they're doing there.
Yeah, they're good.
Next up is Snickers.
Snickers is one of the goats, but it's not my goat. Snickers is a B tier to me. Maybe bottom of A, given what we have right now.
Yeah, I'll go bottom of A. I'm not going to argue too much there. A frozen Snickers does hit different, though.
Snickers are delicious. They're just not as good as the things that we have above them.
Next up is Twix.
Love Twix.
Me too.
I would eat all of the Twix. Probably bottom of S tier to me.
I'm going to agree. Mostly because we don't have a ton of caramel representation.
It's true.
And
I don't know what that is. What's next? Is that Runts?
Nerds.
Nerds were good as a kid. Now I would never eat them.
Yeah, they're in the office candy bowl to me.
They are. Yeah, it's an office candy.
I'm going to throw them ahead of Sweet Tarts.
That's, yeah, okay.
Milk Duds.
I love the flavor of a Milk Dud. I hate having to go through the pain of eating them.
Yes.
C tier.
I'm going to go top of C tier because the flavor does...
They're good.
The flavor is great.
It's just a giant pain in the ass to eat them.
Yeah, you've been stuck in your teeth for 9 hours.
Terrible. There's a lot of candies on this. We have 100 grand as number one right now. Carly, calm down. We haven't gotten through the whole list.
Uncle Kyle, I think you're talking about the white chocolate Hershey's Kisses, and I do agree with you that they are the best flavor of Hershey's Kisses.
No.
Well, you're
All Hershey's Kisses that aren't peppermint are bad.
agree to disagree.
But he hates chocolate and mint. So, and that is the one time I think peppermint is good because I think they call it peppermint, but it's really just
Yeah.
mint. Next on the list is these Fireball things. I think they're trash. Yep.
They are the bottom of F tier. They're
pretty
worst.
bad. See, this is what I was talking about when I was saying earlier with the hot tamales, because I think Fireball just threw you this hot cinnamon trash, and I think
Yeah.
hot tamale did a much better job of adapting that flavor into something that you'd want to eat.
Yeah. No real argument again. Next up, Milky Way.
I think they're bad.
Really?
Milky Way to me is very similar to a Three Musketeers.
I prefer Milky Way to Snickers. Especially
Really?
like the midnight ones, the dark chocolate one. Oh,
That's it. That surprises me. Milky Way to me is very much the same as a Three Musketeers, and it is very mediocre to me.
well, I use my executive override, so where would you put this?
C, above Three Musketeers.
Just above or like well above?
I'd put it all the way above Nerds, and then I'd stop.
Basically puts it smack dab in the middle, which I think is disrespectful, but it's fine.
I think they're bad.
Next up, Blow Pops.
Also suck.
They're the best of the gum candy.
Other
but
than Tootsie Pops, if you are a gum-related candy or like a sucker, you're probably not very good on my list.
True.
Is this next one? What are these lifesavers?
These are the hard ones, so I guess the previous ones were the
They weren't
chewy
gummies.
ones.
No, this has to be different flavors. Can I zoom in?
Yeah, it is different. It is different flavors, but
Whatever
I don't
they
know.
are, just put them right next to lifesavers. I don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck those are.
Pez.
Pez is trash.
Yeah. I'm gonna put them above all the. They're with the. They're basically the same candy that's in the candy necklaces, so I'm putting them in the
Yep.
same spot. Next up is the Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks to me are about the experience.
Agreed.
And for that reason, I would say top of D tier.
Yep, that you and I were on the same page there. The experience of having Pop Rocks is fun, but they're nothing special.
Yep.
The dot candy.
Candy buttons.
That's what you call it. We called it dot candy
I
growing
could have
up.
sworn they were called candy buttons.
They probably are, but we called them dot candy.
They are not good.
No,
it's just
they're
a
not.
piece of sugar. I'd
Yes.
put it in F tier. Don't you can put it wherever you want. F tier. They're not good. Ooh, Leonard Fournette, another big run.
Next up, Mike and Ike.
Mike and Ike's are great. They're definitely better than hot tamales. I'd say they're probably equal or better than Sour Patch to me.
I haven't had them enough in my life that I will
Really?
default to you enough. I never go for them. These would be a C
Mike
tier
and
to
Ike's
me.
are delicious.
I've never.
They have a tropical box too, the blue box. It's really good.
I'm sure I would prefer those to the regular ones because I'm a sucker for like any of the tropical flavors that companies do. So
Mike and Ike's are very good.
I'll default to you here. You tell me.
I'd drop them right
Ahead of-
below Tootsie Pops.
Really? All right.
Mike and Ike's are good, man.
Next up is M&Ms, and I think we can look at this through the scope of all M&Ms that exist because these are the only ones that are on there.
If
And
we're
I-
gonna do that,
I think these have to go S tier.
they have to.
Yeah,
If you're gonna tell me it's everyone, because original M&Ms are trash.
agreed. I wouldn't say trash. They're
pretty bad.
They're solid. They're fine. But
They're
again,
pretty freaking bleh. Peanut butter M&Ms and pretzel M&Ms.
yes,
Only ones I care about. S tier.
yes, no arguments.
What is the next
up,
category? Is that jelly beans?
jelly beans.
They kind of sell the experience as well, especially with like the every flavor. D tier to me somewhere.
I'm gonna put them by Pop Rocks because again, it's an experience thing.
Yeah.
I still want to do the Bean Boozled game. Have you done that or heard of
Yeah.
that? I've never done it, but I want to just for the memes.
Did you
But
ever have Birdie Bot's every flavor beans?
I did.
Same concept. They're good.
Next up, Whoppers.
Loved them as a kid. Don't care for them as an adult.
Same. Bottom of D tier. I'd actually pick these over Smarties.
I would pick them over everything up to Twizzlers.
No arguments. The little wax soda bottles.
That is the absolute bottom of F tier.
yeah.
That has to be like the literally what's the line for if you enter F tier? wax fucking bottles.
Yep.
You get a mouth full of wax for this disgusting artificial flavor. Bad.
Yeah. No argument. Skittles.
Skittles are fine.
I love Skittles.
They're one of the most common. They're fine, man. I don't know.
If you're going to have Mike and Ike ahead of Sour Patch Kids, I think Skittles needs to be right next to it.
Okay. I accept.
I would personally put Sour Patch Kids over Skittles. And Gushers, actually. Yeah, I'm going to put these down below Cookie Dough Bites if you have no complaints. Actually, I'd probably pick Warheads over them, too.
That's
because Sour Skittles exist and they're not on here, so I'm going to count these as Sour Skittles because there's weirdly another Skittle on here. Oh, no, I get what they're doing here. Well, I'll cover it in a second. Next up, Heath Bar.
Heath is fine. I think Heath is like one of those things that it's better like crunched up and like mixed into an ice cream of some sort.
Yep, agreed.
So I'd probably put it somewhere in D tier.
Yeah, I'm going to go...
Because I wouldn't eat like a regular ass Heath Bar just for the fun of it most of the time.
I'm going to go above Jelly Beans but below Pop Rocks.
I can't remember the last time up next on the list. Laffy Taffy? I don't know when I had it.
Bro, banana Laffy Taffy.
You like banana flavor and it weirds me out.
I don't, though. I just like banana Laffy Taffy.
I thought you said you like banana Runts too.
No. I mean, they're the best of Runts, but Runts are just generally bad.
I think nobody would agree with that.
That's fine.
Banana artificial flavor grosses me out. Laffy Taffy F, I guess. I don't care about Laffy Taffy at all.
How can you like Airhead but not Laffy Taffy?
See, that's the thing. If I had it now, I'd probably think okay of it. But I've had Airheads way more than Laffy Taffy.
I'm going to put these in the same category as Tootsie Rolls generally.
Okay. That's fair.
So I think they're the fruit version of Tootsie Rolls because the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls are ass.
What's this other Skittle?
So this is the original Skittle when green was lime, and the brighter red one is the current one, which is the green as green apple. I think the original Skittles, the ones that we're placing now, are better than the current Skittles.
I don't care. I'll let you do whatever you want with Skittles.
Kind of figured that was coming.
I don't care at all.
Let's see here.
I can't tell you how much I love gummy bears, which are next on the list.
Gummy bears are fine.
I love gummy bears, especially Haribos.
I never pick them.
Oh, I do all the time. Gummy worms, gummy bears, love them. This is my executive decision. This is my override. Gummy bears are going above Dots.
I'm gonna let it happen. I'm gonna respect the executive override. You're wrong.
Can't do shit.
But I'm gonna respect it. Baby Ruth.
Don't give a shit about Baby Ruth.
This is the top of C tier. This is where I'm starting to think about it, but I'm never gonna do it.
I would never buy it with Baby Ruth.
I'm gonna put it where I said so. No. I'd pick Crunch Bar. I'd pick Milky Way. It's gonna go right in the. It's gonna go basically smack dab in the middle of C. Candy corn.
I don't know if this is a hot take to you because people have their opinions.
I know where you're going with this.
I like candy corn.
I do too. Bottom of B tier.
Yeah. Sold.
So it's the experience.
I like candy corn. It's a great fall candy.
Next up.
That being said, I don't usually buy it, but Carly likes to buy it because of the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
And I eat it. So
exactly. It's a great placeholder for something in your living area. And it's just a good little handful snack.
Yeah.
Next up, Almond Joy.
Talked about it. Love it. Can't get enough of it. Think it's better than Snickers. That's my opinion.
I'm not going to argue. I would probably pick a Snickers over an Almond Joy, but it's very close. It would depend on the mood that I'm in. Because there's times where I could eat 30 Almond Joys and just be in heaven.
This next candy is like the sugar-coated version of Dots, but it looks like the ones that come with gingerbread houses, and I think they suck. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say about that. Throw it somewhere in F tier, in my opinion.
They also have a weird spice to them sometimes.
Yes. Always with the gingerbread ones.
It's weird.
It's like they added a little drop of fucking Tabasco in the middle of it. I hate
Not even Tabasco. It's just they coated them in nutmeg or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Next up is Pixie Sticks.
Trash.
I'd put them above candy cigarettes. Actually, no, I'm going to put them below it because you can't look cool eating a Pixie
You don't have the
stick.
cool factor, man. Cool factor's out.
Next and final candy on the list is regular Hershey bars.
I can't tell you how much regular Hershey sucks.
Yeah, you made it very clear you don't like Hershey's chocolate.
I think Hershey's chocolate is the most boring, bland nonsense. The only thing Hershey's is good for is a s'more.
Agreed.
And I have recently learned that using a Reese's peanut butter cup
Yes, queen.
is way better than Hershey's.
Yeah.
So I will probably never have a Hershey's candy bar again in my life.
I like the cookies and cream Hershey's, but that's about it.
Yes, agreed. Love her cookies and cream Hershey's.
Because of the fact that these are good on s'mores, and again, we're talking experience sometimes, I think this has to go at the top of D tier.
Is this going to be another Leonard Fournette touchdown? It is. Nope, he's short. Anyway, yeah, that's fine. I'll take it.
All right, top of D tier. All right.
Let's go through. We have spent almost 45 minutes talking about candy, so let's burn through this and finalize our decision.
As we always do you have any glaring issues for you?
I would probably put Twix above 100 grand. Personally, like I think Twix is probably the top of that category currently to me.
I'll move Twix above.
Butter M&Ms are probably above all of that to me too.
I don't know if I can put Twix in front of 100 grand.
I agree with you. 100 grand is delicious, but I think Twix is better.
Can we put them next?
Interference.
Is there a way we can put them next to each other? Come on, tier list. Come on.
That'd be nice.
I'm gonna leave it there because I have control of the mouse, but Kyle is in at least minor disagreement with that. I would probably put M&Ms above Twix. Is my like the peanut butter or pretzel M&Ms? I would put those above Twix, and that's my issue for putting Twix ahead of.
My order might be peanut butter M&Ms, Twix 100 grand. You refuse to put anything above 100 grand.
I'll take
that order.
I'll do this order. I will accept that because I go out of my way to get pretzel or peanut butter M&Ms way more frequently than I go out of my way to get 100 grand bars. So I will concede that the offshoot M&Ms are probably the GOAT.
That's fair. I'll take it.
Only real glaring issues that I see. Swedish Fish is too low, but I'm not going to change that. Milky Way's too low.
Gross.
And I still think Dots and Orange Slices should at least be above Gummy Bears. But again, I'm going to
I would almost let you put Orange Slices above Gummy Bears, but not Dots.
I'm going to do it then.
I would take Haribos over Dots any day.
Ugh. Yeah, it's not even close for me. I'm picking Dots over Gummy Bears.
I think the hardest thing in A category is actually how much I love Almond Joys.
And I prefer Mounds to them.
But they're both low in our A category. That's my point.
I
Another
agree.
goddamn Leonard Fournette touchdown.
I would put these over Airheads. I would put these over Andy's Mints. I would put them at least in line with Snickers.
Okay.
I'd still probably pick Reese's Pieces over them because I'm a peanut butter fanatic.
Okay.
But
that's fine.
All right.
Next category, I don't really see any problems that I care about. The rest of that looks fine to me, yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the list is good to me. So this is the list. We will actually post this on Twitter. I know I say that all the time, but I'm going to try and remember to do it this time.
He says it all the time because I'll go to work and I'll be like, yo, guys, check out my candy tiers. And they'll be like, show me, bro. And then it's not on Twitter.
Well, that's when you got to make them all pull up the podcast so we get individual listens from every single one of them.
Some people just don't want to fucking do that for me. It's a sad reality.
Well, you know what? It is what it is. But that is the end of my category. I've taken up 50 minutes of the podcast, basically. So, Kyle, let's just jump right into your list. Uncle Kyle agrees with you that gummy bears should be an S tier. You're wrong.
Gummy bears are delicious.
But I respect the candor.
Thank you, Uncle Kyle.
Let me rate my beer real quick. I'm going to give it probably the same rating you did, a 5.5. It's not bad, but it's not. I'm never going to pick it again.
Yeah. The Clown Shoes is 5.0. It's an IPA, dude. The Pineapple Space Cake is just a fancy name they threw on the can to sell you an IPA.
That's what I hate about IPAs. It's always sounds like it's going to be delicious, and then it's just not.
They always taste the fucking same.
All right, what is beer number 2 for you?
All right, beer number 2 for me is, and it's kind of foamy, so I'm trying to deal with this. Sorry.
You're good.
It just keeps going.
It does. Might have frozen a little bit, maybe. Kyle's gonna be burpy for the last 45 minutes of the episode, boys and girls.
All right. Fuck me. All right. Wow. My next beer is Ghost Fire Curse Coconut S'mores Stout. Another fancy can. I think it looks pretty good. Other than the goddamn foam. By the way, I'm going to fucking lose matchups this week because of Leonard Fournette, and I hate that.
Yeah, me too. I am drinking Pipeworks Brewing Pumpkin Spice Latte, which is an oat ale, which I don't think I've ever had before.
I love oat ales.
Pumpkin, coffee, lactose, vanilla, cinnamon, clove, and ginger. I just had to save some of the foam on the overpour, which I learned according to TikTok. You are supposed to, as a taster, you're supposed to pour a lot of the, pour hard to get a lot of the foam out of the way early. Saves you from, bloating and burping as much, which...
Huh.
It was from, a professional beer taster, so I'm going to take his word for it. But excited about this one. I love Pipeworks. They're a phenomenal brewery located in Chicago, so pretty local to me. And I love a lot of the stuff that they do, so I'm excited. But let's get into your category.
My first topic, and this could be kind of quick based on the fact that we touched on a little bit of this already. My first topic that I dedicated for today was, what are some foods that you loved when you were a kid? Loved them. But you don't like them as an adult. You have grown out of them completely, and you don't want to ever have them again in your life.
How many you want? How many you want?
Both. Doesn't matter. Just give me some.
Pickles. I don't know. I don't recall ever loving them, but my parents have told me stories about me always wanting pickles, drinking pickle juice, and now vinegar disgusts me. And anything vinegary is just not a move. I hate it. So that's got to be super up there for me, even though I don't really remember it. My family would also make goulash, which is I want to say it's Polish, but as a kid I loved it. As an adult, just it's not there for me. It doesn't do it. This may be contentious. Capri Suns.
Yep.
I loved him as a kid. I could probably care less if I ever drank one again. Those are three that jump out right away to me.
Yeah.
Oh, another one. Kraft mac and cheese. I could go the rest of my life without eating.
Mac and cheese.
I could go the rest of my life without eating Kraft mac and cheese, and I'd be completely happy. I would much rather eat Velveeta and shells than Kraft mac and cheese.
Okay.
Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe that's a Twitter poll as well at some point. But they're just not even close to me.
Okay. Well, for me, the number one that I think about when I think about this is the Jug O Juice, or Jugs, or whatever you want to call them.
They're called Hugs. Hugs is the actual name of them.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. Those are disgusting.
They
are
great.
So fucking gross. I loved them when I was a kid.
I still like them because they're zero sugar. They are keto friendly.
They are disgusting.
Because they're artificially flavored. Do you like diet soda?
I don't drink pop.
That actually is true. I don't think I've ever seen you drink pop. Soda.
No,
it's
never
soda.
have.
I know Midwesterners call it pop, but it's soda.
I don't care what the fuck you call it. I don't like it.
Velveeta is not garbage, Uncle Kyle.
Velveeta's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Velveeta shells and cheese, pretty much a goat.
Yep, slaps.
Other than that, some of the ones that we already hit on because of it. Actually, this is one that wasn't on the list. Zebra gum. Do you remember how much you used to love that pack of gum with the little zebra on it, and it was the tattoo gum?
I know what you're talking about. I was never a huge fan of it.
I love that shit when I was a kid. Hate it. It's disgusting. I probably should have hated it then. Warheads is one of the ones honestly on my list now because I loved that shit when I was a kid, and now I think I would probably hate Warheads. I think I've had one in my adult life, and it was
Uncle Kyle is firmly on Team Pop over soda in all caps.
He's an Iowa guy, man.
He's from Illinois. He's from where I'm from.
He's an Iowa guy now. Yes. Bubble tape, the gum that we already talked about, disgusting. And what was the last one I had? Oh, okay, that was all from the ones that we already talked about, and then
Oh, I've got another one. I've talked about it multiple times on this podcast. I'm not a huge ice cream fan, but when I was a kid, I would live for a couple bowls of ice cream.
if you want to talk desserts though, pudding.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
pudding
same.
is just like meh.
Yeah.
Very don't care anymore.
The closest that I'll do to pudding anymore is like the custard in like Boston cream donuts. That slaps. That hits different.
That's fine because it's a part of a donut.
Ooh, idea. Write it down.
But that's also one that would go on my list, to be completely honest. I'm not a big donut guy. Loved donuts as a kid, though.
I do actually know that you're not a huge donut guy. Kyle and his wife surprised me with
Carly
donuts
loves donuts.
on my birthday. They were solid.
Yeah.
I love donuts. Could fuck up a whole box of donuts at any point in time. But
If you put a donut in front of me, will I eat it? You're goddamn right I will. Am I going to love it in the moment? Probably. Am I ever going to crave donuts? I don't think so.
oh, I crave them. I crave them so hard.
I
But
don't think I ever will.
my contentious, I guess, argument with donuts is I think Dunkin' donuts are fire, and most people think they're ass. But there's just something about a donut that, kind of like you with Peeps, there's something about a donut that's been sitting out for a while.
You got to let the peeps sit for a bit.
Uncle
just gotta
Kyle
get over
says banana pudding is fire. I haven't had good banana pudding in my life, so I can't agree nor disagree.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like artificial banana flavor almost always. I think it's not good. So don't have too much of an opinion there other than I don't think it's very good.
Let me see. I'm trying to think of like real food.
Chef Boyardee.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
Jess,
used to love the noodle one, like the beef and noodles or whatever the fuck when I
Yeah.
was a kid. I would never go buy that now.
I don't know. Jess used to buy it like 2 or 3 years ago, and I always enjoyed it when I had it. But it's never something that I'm gonna get, so I could see why that would be in that tier.
Yeah, I don't care about Chef Boyardee.
I've got one like cold cuts. I used
Yeah.
to just like love cold cut sandwiches
Yeah.
when I was a kid, and now it's like I'd rather eat something warm.
Yeah, agreed.
Go figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Jalen
probably
Hurts rushing touchdown.
thank God. That's him, and that's his fantasy like life with me is like he has 3 points into the fourth quarter, and then he puts up like 2 rushing tugs at the end of the game.
Hey man, sometimes that's all you need.
He's like quarterback 6 on the season, so I'll take it. It's been working. Quarterback.
You know what
7,
else I
I'm
don't
close.
like? Twinkies, ding dongs, ho hos, almost any of the Hostess snacks. I like Star Crunches though.
Ho-hos, if you put them in the freezer, slap. If you eat them regularly, they're not good. If you put them in the freezer first, they're kind of cold. They're delicious. I'll still fuck up all of those though. Like I can't even pretend. Oh, this are Pop-Tarts. I loved Pop-Tarts when I was a kid. I haven't had a Pop-Tart in 4 or 5 years. The last time I had a Pop-Tart was when I was still not severely, when I was still overweight and I was like pre-diabetic. And there was one point where I was like, my blood sugar was crashing and I ate like an entire box of Pop-Tarts to get my blood sugar back up. That was the
Funny
last
that you
time I
bring
ate
it
a
up
Pop-Tart.
because I think, and I was talking about this at work the other day with some of the guys that I work with, but Pop-Tarts, even as an adult, right? Like sometimes you're like, oh man, I can have a Pop-Tart. It's quick and easy, right? You take a bite of it and you're like, well, okay, this is fine. And then you take another bite and you're like, well, okay, I guess it's fine. And then like by the time you're done with even like that first Pop-Tart,
You're like, why did I do this?
God, oh, this kind of hurts. The experience wasn't that good.
You're like,
I
there's
don't
so
want this
many
anymore in my life.
so many things that I would rather have than a Pop-Tart. I'll do a toaster strudel over a Pop-Tart any day of
Yeah,
the week.
yeah,
It's not
absolutely.
remarkably close.
I tried to like look on the internet and just see if there's anything else that popped out at me, and some people were saying Salisbury steak, which I agree with. I haven't
no.
had a
I
Salisbury
was
steak
gonna say-
since I was a kid.
I haven't had one in a long time, but I would still probably fuck it up.
I have not had one since I was a kid, so I could at least say that I don't crave it.
Oh, here's one. Sloppy Joes.
I love sloppy joes.
I loved them when I was a kid. I haven't had one in years, and I don't plan to.
I still love sloppy joes.
Bro, this list. I was like 13 nostalgic foods for grown-ups. And it's like chocolate chip cookies, fish sticks with tartar sauce, like things that all make sense. And then it's like homemade yodels, almond butter and jelly French toast, creamy sun-dried tomato soup with cheese panini. Like, no, I'm not fucking eating that when I was a kid. And as an adult, I'm still just eating tomato soup and grilled cheese. I'm not making myself a cheese panini.
I've never liked tomato soup, so you can throw that in the list of things that I hate.
I only like dunking my grilled cheese in it.
I hate tomato soup.
Can we conversely talk about foods that we didn't like as a kid that we kind of now like as adults and make that my topic?
I don't care. Sure.
Perfect. We're going to do that. But we're still going to talk about things that I found the number one. I just looked to my left on my second monitor, saw it. Lunchables.
That you hate now?
Now,
that you loved
hate
as a
now.
kid?
Hate now. Loved as a
So
kid.
Carly's going to think that might be the most contentious thing that you've ever said in your entire life. Because Carly loves Lunchables. I think that the nachos and cheese one is still delicious, but other than that, I could probably go without.
The nachos and cheese one is still good. The pepperoni pizza, if you microwave it, is still solid. Every other one is dog shit, though. Like the burgers, the turkey one, those are terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I don't think they were good as a kid.
I think the only ones that I've ever really liked are the nachos and cheese ones. And then I'd have like the turkey and crackers and cheese one, and that was fine.
that one's gross.
But that's not really... It's weird that it's a Lunchable, because it's really just crackers and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's fine.
Let's see.
If you want to switch over, though, to the other topic, the number one thing that I could easily say without a doubt that I love now that I hate... I don't even know that I hated when I was a kid, because I don't even know if I tried it. Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
I love Brussels sprouts now.
Bro, Jess and I talk all the time about like recreating the Brussels sprouts that we had at your house, and we never end up actually doing it, but we should because they were really fucking good.
I love them now. I would have them with almost every meal, especially like a red meat meal, like a steak dinner. Have some Brussels on the side. Love Brussels sprouts.
I'm now blanking on the thing that fuck. I might switch from my topic because I forgot what I was gonna say. What the fuck was it? Oh, number one for me is like lobster bisque. When I was a kid, I thought anything seafood was gross. And now as an adult, like lobster bisque just absolutely slaps.
I can thank Carly for this one, but one of my number one most hated foods up until I became an adult was onion, just in general. I hated onion, and now I love it. I love onion on everything. Give me all of the onion.
I still love the flavor of onion. Still working on getting the texture down.
Gotta grill them, I told you.
I haven't tried. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Love onion.
Let's see here. I'm looking at lists now of like throwback foods.
Oh, another big one for me: beans. Of all shapes, sizes, and varieties. I hated them when I was a kid, and I have really come around to beans in my adult life.
Bro, so I've been trying to like eat more to like put on a little weight, like a little healthy weight. And I've been having a preposterous amount of Bush's baked beans.
Baked beans especially.
Absolutely love them.
Love baked beans.
Oh, here's one that I hated as a kid that I like now: French toast. I did not like French toast as a kid, and now I love it. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm kind of indifferent about French toast. It's fine to me.
Let me go through this list. Hot dogs. I didn't like them as much as a kid as I do as an adult. Maybe it's not something that I didn't like as a kid.
That's almost the opposite for me. I liked hot dogs as a kid, and I don't now.
That's, I think, the way most
there's
people
another
go.
really good one though. Brats.
Yes, I didn't
I
like
thought brats
brats.
were disgusting when I was a kid. I would only eat hot dogs. I love brats now.
I was always Italian sausage over brats until I became an adult. Now I'm definitely team brat over Italian sausage.
And in the same respect as brats, sauerkraut. Hated sauerkraut when I was a kid. Love it now.
Still don't like it.
Shout out to Chad's Pizza in Cedar Falls, Iowa. They have a German pizza with sauerkraut on it. It's delicious.
I could just actually do a whole category of food with this. Mexican food. I hated Mexican food as a kid, and as an adult, I could eat it for every meal. Every single meal.
I guess that might be truly my number one. I'm going to combine a couple things here, but taco pizza. When I was a kid, my mom would get it all the time. I hated it. I didn't want her to get it. I just wanted my goddamn pepperoni pizza. And the older I've gotten, the more I have truly cherished the taco pizza experience. And now every time that I go home, I have to have it. I love taco pizza now.
No, too many toppings that I don't like on it typically, but I could see like the growth of liking that more now.
These are tall boys. BRB.
I'm going to continue going through this list while Kyle's gone. He's going to not hear anything I say. So maybe I should say things that typically would not, make the list. Let's see. We talked about how sloppy joes are something that I used to like that I now don't like. Let's see. Jesus. Rice in general. Like I would avoid rice when I was a kid. Love it now. Most potato things, honestly, I would eat mashed potatoes and like French fries as a kid, but I wouldn't get creative with them. Now I get much more creative with my food choices. The one I actually just thought of is really good, so I'll wait till Kyle is back there for that one. Let's see.
All right, I'm back.
All right, I didn't cover too many things that I didn't like as a kid that I like more now, and it wasn't even really things that I didn't like. It was just I like them more now.
Yeah.
One thing that I hated as a kid, and I definitely grew into it, was anything spicy. When I was like 7 to 10, I was the biggest wimp when it came to spice. Like black pepper was too much for me. I was like a stereotypical white kid, and that like seasoning was just not a thing that I wanted in my life.
Sad.
And now I'm like, give me the hottest of everything that you have. My
Yeah, I
coworker,
don't think I ever really shied away from spice.
a former coworker of mine, prejudiced me in being white that I couldn't handle spice. And then we got Buffalo Wild Wings one day at work, and she got the mango habanero, which I love but typically don't order, just preference. And she had a couple extra wings that she wasn't going to eat, so I had them, and I had no reaction to them. And she was like dying from how hot they were, and I was just like, these are just tasty. I don't.
Somehow the Buffalo Wild Wings spicy barbecue are actually pretty spicy.
Yeah, they're pretty solid.
They have a good heat to them.
I will say it all the time. Buffalo Wild Wings sauces are
They got great sauce.
are the best amongst like chicken restaurants. Their wing quality is not great. Wingstop definitely has better quality wings, but the sauces at B-Dubs are. Just had an idea. Don't steal it. If you already did, I hate you.
I might have. I just wrote down a topic idea, so
Is it ranking all of the Buffalo Wild Wing sauces?
it's not. But that's
All
a
right.
good one too, just
Well,
individually.
yep, that's on my list, so don't steal it. Just put it down in writing. Oh, here's one that I loved as a kid that I don't like now. Chocolate milk.
That's fair. I don't drink chocolate milk anymore.
I don't drink milk anymore. I'm
don't
too
really either.
I'm too lactose intolerant at this point in my life that I am almost exclusively drinking like cashew milk.
I don't have a problem with lactose, but the only time I drink milk usually is when I'm having Oreos.
Yeah,
Fucking love Oreos.
Oreos or cookies. That's one thing for me though. Oreos that I loved as a kid that I like. If I never had an Oreo again, I wouldn't be sad about it.
I love them.
I prefer I like Oreos in things. So it's a lot like some of the candies we talked about.
Oreo balls.
Yes, Oreo balls are one of the greatest desserts of all time. And
I
it's
just had them.
if I have to
good.
bring if I have to bring a dish somewhere,
They're so easy.
Jess's go-to is green bean casserole, and my go-to is Oreo balls because nobody else is gonna bring them, and everybody loves them.
That's so Midwestern of you guys, and I love it.
It is so Midwestern.
Green bean casserole is the OG fucking Midwestern. The casseroles in general.
It is so Central Illinois of us. I'm scrolling through a list here real quick before we move on to final topic of the day. Root beer floats, love those as a kid. Don't really like them now.
I don't
Again,
like root beer.
just generally don't love ice cream. So
I don't really like I said, I don't like soda, so I don't like root beer.
Oh, here's one. Like slushies or ices. The EGs that we had were great, but they were also like different than your traditional ice.
I gotta say, EGs has really taken a long time to grow on me. I love EGs now.
I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it, but it was different. It wasn't what I was expecting, which is why I think I liked it.
I love EGs now. Delish.
I'm trying to think of what if we're on my topic or your topic at this point, but
This
it's
is
kind of
technically
just,
your topic.
it's technically just blended all into one. If we're really being honest
Kinda
about
is.
it,
That's okay. We have very little time left, and I can just go straight into mine if you're closing out there.
let me just finish scrolling through this list real quick. Subway, loved it as a kid, hate it now.
Same. Their prices are also absurd now.
Yes. When they were $5 footlongs, I ate it a lot. Now that they're not, nope. Muffins in general, I could live without them.
I like lemon poppy seed muffins. I could eat them every day of the week.
I could do those, but I never buy them. The only time I've ever gotten them really in my life is when they come as like the side when you get like certain salads at Portillo's.
You're so lucky you have Portillo's right next to you.
No, I'm not. Portillo's is so overrated.
I love Portillo's.
Portillo's is the most overrated restaurant in the Chicagoland area.
My dad sent me Portillo's hot dogs, like one of their gift sets or whatever for my birthday, and I was very appreciative.
All right, I'm going to end on this one because I think it's a solid one to end on because it may be a little controversial. Freezer pops, freezer sticks, whatever you want to call them.
Otter pops, push pops, kind of, but they're not.
Yeah.
Depending on how you define that.
Those were like, at my grandma's house was the only time we would ever have them, and we would like convince her to give us like 10 in a day, which I now get, like they were 1 cent a piece basically, like, but they're not good. They're
a hot take.
They're the hugs of dessert.
I understand completely where you're coming from, but let me tell you, they make a pina colada flavor now. And if anybody knows me and how much I love fucking pina colada, so goddamn good.
Uncle Kyle says that deep dish pizza is more overrated, and I will kind of agree with him. I do prefer thin crust pizza to deep dish pizza almost every time.
Sure. I can't remember the last time I had a deep dish pizza.
I'll take you out for one whenever you come up here, and you'll remember how bad it is.
Maybe Chicago in like 2005.
Yeah, you're not missing out. They're pretty ass. But yeah, that's the end of it for me. I wasn't gonna do that as my second topic, but we're running a little low on time, so I stole your topic a little bit.
Easy peasy. Roll right into my last one because it should be very easy to talk about. Tell me if you could live continentally in the United States. Where would you live if you could pick any specific state? And if you want to go so deep as to say city within the state, I would take that as well.
Money's
anywhere in the United States, not outside.
Money's no option?
Object, no.
Yes. Continental United States, or does Hawaii count?
Continental United States. You gotta live inside continental United States.
I'd probably pick San Diego.
It's very interesting that you'd say that because I have a feeling that Carly would agree with you 100%.
I've never been, but I don't
love San Diego.
My parents do as well, and
it's because of Belching Beaver. That's why you want to go there. I feel you.
I do want to go there for that, but just everything I've heard about like the weather there, like it never really gets hotter than like 90, it never really gets colder than like high 50s. Like it's a nice middle ground. The weather's not too temperamental. It's in California, so you're like on the West Coast, and you're really close to a lot of the things that you can do on the West Coast, where it's like a drivable thing and it's not too big of a deal. But it's also just like if you look at some of the house, like I've admittedly looked at houses in San Diego, and there's just some really, really like unique houses that you don't get in a lot of other places besides being in like California.
San Diego is great.
And
it's great. I won't argue with you too much.
They have professional sports teams, so I could still like support a team. They lost the Chargers, but I can go up to LA if I ever want to go to a Chargers game, a Rams game, if I want to.
You could also drive very easily to Phoenix from there and go to a Cardinals game.
Exactly. Like I can get every sport there, which is like some of the places that Jess and I talked about living. That was a big issue for me, is that like I couldn't watch sports.
Big up for you specifically too is I'm pretty sure that the Cubs do their spring training in Phoenix.
Mesa, but yes.
Doesn't matter. Same thing. Mesa is a suburb of Phoenix.
Same, but different. But still same.
Yeah, they do it up in Arizona as well.
Deep pass to Devonta Smith. Thank God he finally got a couple points.
Did it actually happen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm seeing it right now.
But yeah, San Diego's definitely up there for me. I would have to do it in like a top, like there's a bunch of places that I would love to live. I'd love to live in Austin, Texas. Okay. I'd love to live in Arizona, generally speaking. Just I've always loved the state.
Yeah, I think Phoenix area more so than where I'm at, but yes.
I would probably agree. I had no issues with Tucson when I was there, and like the area, and even down south, like when we went down south to like Sonoita and stuff like that.
Sonoita's great.
It was great. Which if I'm more north, it's longer to get there.
Fair. I love snow.
I definitely enjoyed it when I was there. But I probably would pick like Scottsdale, Phoenix area.
Yep.
The golf's a little better
great.
there too.
Scottsdale's
So
grossly expensive, but Scottsdale's great.
again, money's no object.
It's true in this case.
That's probably hitting most of it for me. Jess and I really talked about living in the Carolinas, and I think that'd be really great.
A lot of people really get interested in the Carolinas. I just don't have enough background in Carolina knowledge, I guess, to want to go there.
Charlotte is great. Charlotte, Carolina is a great place. Jess and I spent a week there, and that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then since I've already picked 4, I might as well pick a 5th.
Sure.
I would probably say. Probably then I would probably just have to like default to LA.
Okay.
Like if I could if I didn't have to worry about money, if I like money was no, like if I didn't have to think about how much money I was spending on anything, LA, like it's LA. Like there's so much.
LA would actually be a nightmare, but
it would, but I'd also like if I can have anything that I want, like I'm living in like a gated community. I have a helicopter to take me everywhere. Like I'm going full money is not a problem. So, but yeah, LA, I could see the downside to it, but if I'm picking a 5th place, just to pick a 5th place, it's probably LA. I'd pick that over anywhere in Florida. Like,
yeah,
if I could have a membership at Augusta, I would pick Augusta, Georgia, but I'll never have a membership at Augusta. I'll probably never play Augusta.
Making money no object definitely makes this a less difficult decision because for me, I think San Diego is also top of my list. I do really like San Diego, and I think it's a really fun city to be around. That being said, I think on the cheaper side of the house, but also equally as fun, but the state doesn't really drive me that much, is I would love to live in Dallas.
Yeah.
The Dallas-Fort Worth area. Love it there. I have family there. I spent quite a bit of time there, and I love the time that I've spent there.
My other Uncle Sean, lives in that area, so
great area, love it. I do really like Phoenix area, so I think that's definitely up in my list. I have spent almost 0 time on the East Coast, so I don't have a lot of experience or knowledge to back up any decision to want to go there.
I've been to the East Coast. I've never spent like. The only real time I've spent there is when we went, if you count the Carolinas as the coast, which where we were isn't really on the coast. My brain, when I hear coast, thinks like near, like super near the water. But I've been to Virginia.
I haven't been really in the eastern states. The only one I've really spent any time in is Florida.
When I was younger, I went to like Boston, New York. It was cool. I would never live there.
Never been to either.
You're not missing much.
I want to see him.
New York is cool for like it being New York City and like being like just getting to experience that is cool. But also I'd probably appreciate it more now than I did when I was 13.
A lot of people do say a lot of really good things about the state of New York and not New York City. But I don't have the experience to say so. Anything else for me? Probably just those 3 right now, I guess. But I don't really have 2 more to add to make it a top 5. I want to be west or southwest.
Yeah.
Based on the experience I have, those are the places I like.
I'd probably agree. That's like generally speaking the area I would prefer the most.
If I didn't absolutely hate being cold, I would say Montana is up there too. Because we went up to Montana for a wedding and it was gorgeous up there. And I can't imagine like having the access to the snowboarding and everything that they have up there. Like the snowboarding would be great, and the hiking was amazing. We went up to Glacier Mountain State Park and it was incredible. We had a great experience out there.
That's why I feel like Denver could almost crack my top 5 too.
Denver is probably a good one. Colorado somewhere.
I've never been there, but I know so many people who have gone to Denver and not one person has said a bad thing about it.
I did go to Breckenridge, not Denver, and Breckenridge was great. Loved it.
Actually, you want to get super technical. I've been to Denver. I was 3 months old. So that's my experience with it. But yeah, I would love to be more involved in like snow sports. So being able to like go skiing and snowboarding and stuff, that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Plus like there's just so much there.
If I end up moving, I'll be closer to snow sports, and you can come visit.
I'm gonna come visit wherever you go, Kyle.
I
Perks
have
of
to come back to
friendship.
Illinois. I will eventually, I promise.
You can wait until I buy a house, because otherwise, like, you're staying with your parents or you're sleeping on the one couch that I have. That's
I just really need COVID to be less of a factor, and then I would come, because I could tolerate staying with my, my family out there if it was less COVID-y.
Yeah, well, we're all hoping for that.
Yeah,
But
we all.
hopefully I have a house in the next 6 to 7 months. So
Out west. Perfect.
probably not, but
Perfect out west. You promised me on the last episode when Dane was here that if I go out even farther west, you're coming. So be ready.
I'm coming eventually. That's like a second property type of place. But
All right. Go
Yeah.
ahead, man. Anything else?
no, that's it. I would love to live not in Illinois, but I'm probably going to live in Illinois for some time.
God, get out of the Midwest.
I would love to.
Take some time out. It's worth it. Trust me. It's a lifesaver.
If I was less of a pussy, for lack of a better term, I would do it. But I like stability, and I have stability here, which is what keeps me here. But if I won the lottery, I would move in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah, once you remove money, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But all right, man, that's all I got. Thanks, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Two Average Husbands. As always, you can follow the two of us either at Jake Perry34 on Twitter or Kyle and Herson, if you are watching on YouTube. See on the screen, you can see both those handles. In addition to that, check our Linktree, not LinkedIn, like I said last time, Linktree.
Maybe
where
check
you
our
will
LinkedIn too. Fuck it.
I don't think we have one. Maybe we do, and we just don't know it. But if you look at our
Starting one.
Linktree, you'll see Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
Discord.
Discord, and the YouTube channel is on there as well. So feel free to check that out and follow us on all the social medias as well. And continue to join us every episode live. Every week on Thursday, we're trying to stick to the 8 o'clock Central Time. But if we have to flex around that a little bit just because of schedules, we will. But we're trying to shoot for the 8 o'clock Central Time every Thursday. Other than that, though, that's all I got. Thanks for joining us again. Jake, you can close this one out.
Before I fully close this out, Kyle, what do you rank your second beer of the night?
I only made it about halfway through this one just because I was full and had to pee. But this one's better. I would give this like a 5.3. It's okay.
It's not much of an improvement, if we're being honest here, but it's close.
It's fine.
I would say that my second beer is definitely better. I don't get the coffee taste to it like I was hoping for.
That's always sad when you like really want the flavor and it's just not there.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 6.1. It's still solid. It's definitely pumpkin-y. There's definitely like all of the flavors that you should be tasting, but the coffee is lacking, which is what drops it down for me. If it was more coffee, it'd be like low 7s. But 6.1 for me. But as Kyle said, thank you as always for tuning in. Make sure you give us a listen, even if you've already listened to the episode or watched it live with us. Give us a listen on Spotify. Give us a listen on iTunes so that we know those platforms are worth continuing to invest in. But we love having the versatility on all of them, and we love seeing the growth that we have had. Our last episode was one of our most viewed episodes, the one that we did with Dane last week, so we appreciate all of the support on that. I will try and be more consistent about uploading the episodes onto those platforms such as Spotify and iTunes on a more consistent basis now that work has started to settle down a little bit for myself. But we always thank you all for tuning in. We thank you for all of this support. Check us out on all of the social media platforms, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.